just like us, now that we've subscribed to a higher elevation. I think this is just one of the highs. But I can tell you something, it's hard. It's hard being me. I'm really not preaching to anybody, but just being echo for somebody and just thinking to yourself, man, I can preach that all by myself. It's hard being me. I thought about that sat in my spirit so heavy this morning.
Seem like you get off track, like off course.
You ever felt like that though?
It's like just make it stop. Stuff going on and
It sounds so unprofessional. You ever felt like that though?
yeah, it's like just make it stop.
I'm driving and tears running down my eyes and I'm thinking to myself, God, make it stop. Because if you heal it, it won't hurt anymore. If you fix it, it won't be broken anymore. If you hold it, it won't need to be repaired. If you just kept it, nobody else could tamper with it. It said that the disciples found themselves in a storm. And it doesn't really like speak to the God that you have, because you're still in the storm. You know what I mean? Like, how can you know God and still be going through it? It seems crazy to believe in Him and still live a life that looks like you don't know Him. Not knowing God is to trust God is to love God, but your life don't reflect that because it looks like God don't even know you. So they found themselves in a storm. They just got done healing, setting folk free, feeding the 5,000, and they get ready to cross over to the other side. Their life's about to shift and change. Things are about to get better. You're about to come to a restful place, but you find yourself in the journey on the storm. You're on the storm because the storm is raging around you. It's not that it's happening to you. It's that you've interrupted something in the atmosphere by just trying to move. And watch, the whole family's on board. And that's when the storm is. You don't know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about trying to get everybody on the same page. When you get home together, that's when cousins don't know you, sisters and brothers won't support you, your mom and dad don't want to have nothing to do with you. Talking about folk that you depend on, grew up with, act like you think you better, and all you trying to do is move everybody to the other side. So you can ever come to a place of being at His altar, at His feet, screaming about you every chance that I get. God, humble me. And it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do to not feel self-righteous. The hardest thing to do is to not make it about you. The hardest thing for me to do is to stop and take in what's been said and respond to that and not how I feel. It's difficult being me because it's not about me. Because denying me is like uplifting somebody else. And all of your life, He's saying, die to you, die to you, die to you. When folk make fun of you, just die to you. When folk don't want to be around you, die to you. Folk make you feel bad. Don't clap back at them, just die to you. Every chance that you get at my altar, I need to find you dying to you. So He says nothing. Couldn't say nothing the entire time. Just down there praying. You know how much it took for me to get here. know how many nights I stayed up crying and praying. You don't know what it took for me to get here. You know how many days I worked back to back. How many court battles I fought through. I'm talking about strain and stress. I'm talking about the struggle that I'm still in, just trying to maintain it. Don't look at me and think something about me when you ain't had a conversation with me, because you don't know what it takes to be me. This is not something that you want. You gotta be careful of what you say. I know you meant it in an insulting way, but let me clear this up. I know that you ought to be thankful that you ain't me. Some of the stuff that I went through would have killed you.
That's right.
The shoes that I wear couldn't fit you. The clothes that I tuck in and make look good would look terrible on you. You gotta know every fire I fought through, every battle I survived and waged my way through, every mountain I would climb when folk were sleeping on you, every storm, every tornado, every hurricane, every friend that turned enemy, every family that I thought was friend of me but ended up being foe to me. All of that is what I've come through to come here. You ought to be glad that I'm whispering my prayers. My God, if you let some of that stuff out and be heard around the neighborhood, there's some people who will be embarrassed just to still show up tomorrow saying that they know you. No, you don't want to be me, because the weight that I carry would crush weaker and stronger people. You got to know that in order to be me, you got to be able to see some stuff I'm quiet about. Just let me be. So, some issues I don't visit anymore. Don't talk about it. Just let me be. Don't bother me while I'm still humble and quiet. You keep on picking with the wrong people, and you'll find yourself on the wrong side of life. But you gotta understand that God purposed me not to come here in arrogancy to talk about the deity of me, but to come in and talk about the deity of the one who preserved me. If I have to talk about you and you can say nothing to it. You had the words, but God wouldn't let you release it. You had the rock in your hand, could have destroyed Goliath, but God wouldn't let you release it. You had the sword in your hand, but couldn't chop off the head. God wouldn't release it. And sometimes you have to hold your peace and let God fight the battles for you. So you've only got to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. And Jesus stands up and says, of these two, let me clear up for you. Let them think what they will. And you gotta understand that God fights the battles for you. He's making it out. He's making everything all right. Sometimes it won't feel like it. Every day is not gonna be sunshine and rainbows. Some hard days. You're gonna come across some deaths. Come across some gloomy days. You're gonna face some storms. But when you find yourself at your lowest, that's what it says, at your lowest point. We're not trying to rock the boat, we're trying to get you on the boat. Because Jesus was asleep. You ever felt like God went to sleep on you? You ever prayed a prayer so much that you got tired of saying it? It seemed like routine. It became part of your normal. That way it didn't feel like it was so bad because you were just used to being bad. And that's crazy. That you get so used to praying that it's not even God heal me. It's just help me deal with it. It's not even take cancer away. Just make it not so painful. May God touch their mind. God help me in how I deal with their mental instability. Jesus is asleep. And I'm driving. And I go to sleep. And I felt the car pull. Maybe like 4 or 5 more times. But I think about them on the ship trying to get somewhere, and a wave hit it. Every time I feel the pull, I wake up and pull the wheel. But I'm not consciously aware of which direction the car is going, in what lane, but I wake up and pull it somewhere. It just so happens to be in the right direction every time that I pull it. And I know sometimes it seems like God is asleep. But every now and again, God will send a wave to remind you that He's still pulling the ship. I know it don't feel good all the time, but He's pulling it. I know sometimes it feels like we're going to fall apart, but He's pulling it. Sometimes it seems like the wave and the wind and the world is going to take you over. But every knock that you go through, God, that's just Him with a reminder that He's still pulling it. He's still pulling it. He's still pulling. You got to be careful what you ask for. We're praying, God, make it stop. Heal it, hold it, make it come together. But if you start telling Him what to do, then you're not allowing Him to pull it, but you're allowing Him to move things for you that you think are better for you. We have to learn to let God be God, because it's easier for us to just be us. I know it's difficult being you, but take on the responsibility of being God. Go through it. He didn't say die to it, He said go through it. It's hard, but it won't kill you. You gotta go through it. Get through it. Know that God didn't bring you all this way just for you to give up on Him, or for Him to get up and stop pulling you. And I know at the end of the story they made it. Didn't it? They made it to the other side. They got there. It never said that they looked back to be like, man, that was the worst storm. They moved on to the other side. The other side. Yes, they faced their demons and their challenges and their uphill battles on the other side. But they got through this storm. So you gotta affirm in yourself, we're gonna get through this. It's gonna be okay. My grandma would say, it won't be like this always, baby. It's gonna get better than this. That the sun's gonna come out again. The clouds are gonna go away one day. I'm here to tell somebody that trouble don't last. But a brighter day is coming. A better day is ahead. That God is still in control. And I'm thankful today that in His hands, my boat He holds, He pulls it. He's still pulling it. I'm thankful